it's important to make a distinction between the things that the university does for press and the things that the university is actually doing towards sustainability. Cornell really is an outlier between a lot of the different Ivy League colleges because not just our administration, but our professors really do believe in sustainability. I think that it's important, coming back to that idea of sustainability, you need to provide value down the supply chain. You need to make this system something that circulates positively on everyone in it.
Hey guys, welcome to the newest interview episode by Plan Number 2. I'm David and this is Victor. Joining us today, we have Allison Dew, my president of the Cornell Environmental Collaborative organization and a very active leader in terms of Cornell sustainability. So thank you very much, Allison, for joining us today.
You flatter me, David. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so just to get us started, for those listening, could you briefly explain to us what ECO actually does?
Sure thing. So ECO, or ECO, stands for the Environmental Collaborative. We're an organization at Cornell that's dedicated to supporting student-led sustainability. So we do that a few different ways. That can mean providing funding to student organizations. That could be creating spaces that promote communication and collaboration, whether that's between our members, the administration, or students at large. And that can also mean just helping student voices be heard and amplified in terms of their own individual sustainability goals. We really see sustainability as a community, and our role is to try and help all these different voices, all these different directions that people are trying to approach sustainability in, be guided along one central, not controlling, but guiding voice. Something where our efforts are more impactful because we're connected.
What inspires you to become so involved in Cornell sustainability practices?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Everyone who comes to Cornell, I think, has a different end goal in mind, right? And for me, I'm really interested in a lot of things. It's why I wanted to come here. I love the any person, any study thing. It's cheesy, but it really does. And with sustainability, I feel like it's not necessarily a field, it's a belief system. It's kind of a vision almost. To me, sustainability, the ideas of thinking long term, prioritizing like a long-standing model that's circular and feeds into itself, and trying to provide value down your supply chain. I feel like those are all the right ways, I think, to run an effective company, business, organization at large. I feel like innovation is sustainability, and coming at this from, like an engineering perspective, because I'm a materials engineer, I really value that perspective, and I feel like I found a lot of like-minded people in that field. So I'm very interested in trying to promote those values and kind of get involved with different areas of campus that sustainability has kind of led me to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great insight and great motivation. So focusing a little bit more onto Cornell, can you tell us a little bit about what sustainability practices you've seen Cornell implement? And then just your thoughts on those practices.
Yeah, and I think that's a wonderful question because a lot of people nitpick at like different things the university does, right? And I think it's important to remember that at the end of the day, university is kind of a business. It's a business model. So it's important to make a distinction between the things that the university does for press and the things that the university is actually doing towards sustainability. So there are a lot of things I could talk about. Cornell really is an outlier between a lot of the different Ivy League colleges because not just our administration, but our professors really do believe in sustainability as, again, a belief system and incorporate that into their projects, their research, and even sometimes the businesses and the patents that they put out. So one of the things that I've been really interested in recently has been the recent Atkinson Center opening. Before, we always had the Atkinson Center, but it was only a digital location. They're kind of like ECO, but for administration. They try to combine the efforts of professors, of students, and of, just general faculty, and help people get connected based on their general interests and where they're coming from in sustainability. And I love that they have a physical location now because it makes it so much easier to try and host events, to bring people together physically, and to really energize the community in a way that is hard to do when everything's kind of disconnected and virtual. I feel like they do a great job on the individual level. They bring a lot of really interesting professors here to give amazing lectures. They have a lot of people here, especially in the agriculture community, who are working on things like the Cornell Raptor Rehabilitation Center and the Botanical Gardens. So,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think the grand opening of Atkins Center is really, really impressive. And also knowing that you're only a sophomore this year, that surprised me a little, in the beginning. I was like, hey, our president is only a sophomore. What projects have you implemented this year to as the president of ECO and also a member of Cornell Sustainability?
Yeah. Again, thank you, David. I think one thing that is important to note about ECO is that, like a lot of organizations, we're coming out of COVID still, and I think being an event-based organization, we really kind of got hit by that. So whenever I came in, there was a few people on staff, right? The person before me had even worse. So my role here in ECO has mainly been to rebuild it, to try and reestablish that vision, redefine who we are, create systems, and like reconstruct the organization from a skeleton, essentially. So that's mainly been what I've been putting my time into this semester and the semester before, is getting new members and trying to put ourselves out there on campus, making sure that people know who we are and what we do. And that's taken up a lot of my time, but it's something that I felt has been pretty fruitful so far. There are a couple initiatives specifically that we have started. For instance, the Sustainability Bullet Meeting series is something that I am pretty proud of, and I do hope we get to keep it up to some extent. Essentially, it acts as a town hall where we're trying to bring professors, students, student organizations, all the members of the sustainability community inside and outside of Cornell. So we like to involve the Ithaca community when we can, to come together and just talk. We offer kind of a space for people to express their goals, things that are going on in their organization, issues that they're having, and try to promote just this open dialogue and collaboration between different parts of the sustainability community in a way that's very relaxed. We've also been working on revamping the newsletter that ECO sends out. So you can subscribe to the ECO newsletter whenever you join our group on campus groups. And David actually works on it. He kills it.
Thank you.
Yep. So he does a fantastic job, but we've been working on making it more accessible to our constituents, having a better interface, looking a little bit cleaner and crisper, and making sure that the information we put on there is super useful. I've heard a lot of wonderful things from different people about how they've utilized our newsletter to get internships, to find job opportunities, and to just kind of be more involved in the sustainability community at large.
So through starting these initiatives and also just the rebuilding process that you talked about, and being such a young president, obviously, as David pointed out, I'm sure you've learned a bunch of things. Can you walk us through some of those things that you've learned as a president of a club at Cornell?
Yeah, so I think, even just being on this position for a very short amount of time, I have found, both from here and my prior leadership experience, because I think everyone who comes to Cornell has had some leadership experience, kind of a few key themes that I try to live by, at least at this moment. So I think one big thing for any leader, communication, right? It's something that I try to press down on with ECO. I like to consider myself kind of more of a relaxed president. Maybe that's just in my head. But the one thing that I am not stringent on is, well, at least the one thing that I really, really try to impress is the importance of communication and organization. I don't care if you are just a casual member. I don't care if you have been in the group for 3 years. Every single person needs to be on the same page about what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how it's going to get done. If you lose that thread, then the longer you go, the more it just gets tangled up. You don't know who's doing what, who's responsible for what, and you lose that key vision that's really driving you. So for me, communication at all levels is very important, and it's something that I really try very, very hard to keep strong throughout the year, even during finals, even during, all the stuff that goes on during the school year, because we have other things, right? To kind of be in tune with your members, I think. You need to know who's working for you, and you need to focus on them, not just yourself. I, of course, am coming into this with my own passions, my own interests, but I find it so valuable to build up the people in my community. I think that it's important, coming back to that idea of sustainability, you need to provide value down the supply chain. You need to make this system something that circulates positively on everyone in it. So for instance, like I'm here doing the interview with you, David, in part because I strongly believe that it's important to make eco something that every member can see something valuable in, something that feeds their interests and their passions. I think that helps make an organization long living. It helps increase passion beyond just like that founder. And it really creates a community of very diverse thinking, confident people that I want to see on my team. And I guess that just kind of goes into the last point is always thinking long term. It needs to be able to live on beyond you. I'm going to step down from ECO's president in the next year or two, tops. And I need whoever picks up after me to have a very strong structure to go on with. It can't die with me. Right? But if you're not organized, if your members are unmotivated, and if your group doesn't have a clear idea of where it's headed, it's just you as the executive, as the leader who's carrying it all. That's not healthy. It's not sustainable. And it's something where as soon as you leave, your organization's going to die. I've seen it all the time here. And it's something that I don't want to happen to my group.
No, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Allison, thank you very much for coming today. It's a pleasure for us to talk to you, and also we cannot wait to see what is going to be implemented in terms of Cornell sustainability from ECO and from your personal point of view. Thank you very much, Allison.
Thank you, David.